Believe it or not, there is somebody in this field that can knock Jeff Gordon out of the pole when it comes to road course qualifying. As we welcome you to race 23 of 36 today, the back half of the Watkins Glen doubleheader for the running of this Sirius satellite radio at the Glen. Friday night, it was a race that ended under caution. Dale Earnhardt Jr. earned his second victory of the season in a race that ended under yellow and might see some brewings of a rivalry between Mark Martin and Dylan Murway. So, could we see part 2 play out today? A lot of playoff drama developing. Kevin Harvick starts 31st today. Jimmy Johnson starts 6th. Waltrip starts 11th. And then you got Marlin and Rudd. Marlin starting 20th, and Ricky Rudd starting inside the top 15, I believe. He starts 4th. So Rudd's the highest of the 6 drivers to watch today in terms of who can get their first win. Let's go trackside.
The NASCAR Winston Cup Series made a right turn today on its way to Watkins Glen International for today's race, the Sirius at the Glen. The Glen is a road course that can be quite a challenge for these drivers. Isn't that right, Barney?
Well, 7 out of the 11 corners here are to the right. You want a car that can turn both ways with ease. Of course, that's a lot easier said than done.
The 64 car seems to handle these twisting circuits better than most in qualifying.
You know, that team works so hard at these road courses. Sometimes it's not easy to get these cars to turn right and left. They sure do make it look that way, though.
Jeremy Mayfield changed teams after the 2001 season, ending a 4-year tenure with Roger Penske.
A lot of people, Ray Evernham included, believe Mayfield still has a lot of untapped potential. He certainly has shown flashes of brilliance in the past. Maybe he can put that number 19 Dodge in victory lane today.
Things are not going well this year for Brett Bodine.
Well, you're right. You can see the disappointment in his crew as well. These guys will bounce back, though. All they need is just one good finish to put their minds back on track.
Let's see how they'll line up for the start. Jeff Gordon, the NASCAR Winston Cup points leader, will be starting from the number 2 spot. In the second row are the Oldtail Dodge and the Motorcraft Ford. Starting the race from row 3 are the Pfizer Ford and the Lowe Chevrolet. The fourth row has Dodge dealer Julie W. Dodge and the Singular Riley Chevrolet. Starting the race from row 5 will be the Cheerios Dodge and the 20 car. In row 6 we have the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet and the UPS Ford. Starting from row 7 will be the Dale Jr. Chevrolet and the Rubber Maid Sharpie Ford. In the 8th row are the Tide Pontiac and the Georgia Pacific Dodge. In the 9th row, we have the Valvoline Pontiac and the Stafford 2 Dodge. In the 10th row are the DeWalt Power Tools Ford and the Sterling Marlin Dodge. Starting the race from row 11 are the Kodak Maxville Pontiac and the Haviland Dodge. The 12th row has the M&M's Ford and the Team Rusty Dodge. Starting the race from row 13 will be the 19 car and the Rose Ford. In Row 14, we have the one car and the Caterpillar Dodge. Starting from row 15 will be the Ranger Ford and the Am Racing Dodge. In the 16th row are the GM Goodrich Chevrolet and the Interstate Battery Chevrolet. In the 17th row are the Citgo Ford and the Target Dodge. In the 18th row are the 25 car and the 02 car. Starting the race from row 19 are the Kellogg Chevrolet and the 57 car. The 20th row has the 01 car and the America Online Chevrolet. Starting the race from row 21 will be the Net Zero Pontiac and the Autobahn Ford. And finally, starting from the rear of the field will be the 27 car.
22 more laps in this race today here at Watkins Glen International, located in the upstate region of New York. Difference here, sun's out. So Dylan Murway on the pole, Jeff Gordon to his outside. Jeff Gordon is the regular season points leader, keep in mind. Pace car is off. Green flag into the air. We're racing at Watkins Glen. Oh, Newman getting a little chippy already. Stuck his nose in on Dylan Murway. Kind of got him loose. Luckily, Dylan gets out of it. Barely cuts in front of Gordon's nose. And is clear. Gordon is there. A little bit of contact. Side by side down towards the inner loop. Newman sticks his nose in. Oh, trouble. Wow. Goodness. Ryan Newman just pinned Jeff Gordon into the wall. And just like last week, big time pile up here in lap one. Multiple cars in it. Dylan Murway again gets caught. First yellow. Multiple drivers involved. At least. Mark Martin was there. We race to the caution flag. Everybody pretty much out of the throttle now. So, wow, Dylan got low. The stack up began. I don't know who else was in that. Gordon got a piece. Yep, Martin got in it. Newman got into that as well. Couldn't see what happened with Martin when everybody was hitting him. Oh. Let's try things again, shall we? Ricky Rudd is now up front. Green flag back into the air. Kyle Petty has made his way up into 10th somehow. And everything seems to settle down. So the cars that have fell out of this race, as we look here, Christian Fittipaldi with a solid run here. He's running in the top 5. Kyle Petty running 10th. So Elliott Sadler, Ricky Craven, Michael Waltrip, and Bill Elliott all have fallen out of today's race. Making the early trip down to Florida, I guess. Dylan getting real sideways with Robbie Gordon. Luckily, he saves his car. Ooh, that was almost bad again. So meanwhile, apparently Ryan Newman was mad at Dylan Murway about that incident. Saw there on the screen, he's in the red, so he's definitely on the rival side for Dylan Murway. Christian Fittipaldi heads to pit road. So with all this chaos and death, we're already at green flag stops. Looks to be the case. Unless we get a ton of debris cautions, which is not out of the question. Or at least. Quite a bit of damage on Robbie Gordon's car. Wow. Good Lord. So as we're heading down the pit track here, Ricky Rudd, Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Newman, Jeff Gordon, and Dale Jarrett are the top 5. Cars that pitted last time are heading to that past lap have just escaped, gotten back onto the racetrack. Ryan Newman obviously not happy about the last incident. That incident there on lap 1. A lot of damage to the right front quarter panel of Jeff Gordon. So at least 8, maybe 8 or 9 cars got involved in that incident. Obviously, Newman got a piece. Gordon got a big piece. Oh, Newman got pinned Dylan into the wall. So they somehow still get going. Yeah, Newman's mad. Side bet. So Ricky Rudd is the mid leader in the middle of this race. Dylan Murway is basically just toying with Ryan Newman at this point. And yeah, might want to keep a camera on those two after the race. Might need to get JR and Jim Ross. You might need to get Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler out here in case Ryan Newman and Dylan Murway start fighting after the race. Dylan Murway's already been in a couple scrapes. He was in a scrape at Martinsville. Ooh, good God. Big save there. So Ricky Rudd is the leader, followed by Jimmy Johnson, Dylan Murway, Ryan Newman, and Jeff Gordon. Rounding out the top 5. Both drivers have not won this season, the top 2. Dylan Murway and Ryan Newman both have won this year. And the caution has come out yet again. Second yellow of the afternoon. Debris in the S's as they race back to the yellow. Got a car on pit road. Johnson forcing his way under Rudd. They race back through turn 5. Johnson, Rudd, Murway, the top 3, all of them in one big group. Coming through the S's. Johnson looks to the inside. And looks like Ricky Rudd will take the lead at the caution. Coming out of pit road, we begin our green flag, our pit stops. We already had one round today. Johnson to pit road, on the way down towards their pit stall. Everybody came in that time. Ricky Rudd, Jimmy Johnson get out first and second. And wow, new leader out front. So the leader right now is Kurt Busch, of all people. Kurt Busch is currently your race leader. Dylan Murray puts Chase Montgomery behind on him. This ought to be interesting. But remember, contact. Ward Burton. They're all getting pretty antsy, I'd argue. 9 laps to go. 10 to go now. Terry Labonte gets in a Fittipaldi there, moves him up the track. Got 2 Roush cars fighting for the lead with Kevin Harvick in third. Still fighting for third. Dylan on the outside of Harvick. Harvick has not won this season. Keep in mind, Ricky Rudd making his way up to 5th. 6th. Nearly catching Murray there for 5th. Jimmy Johnson making his way through the cars that did not stay out. Or that did not pit. And down to the line. Murray, Harvick battling for third. Matt Kenseth behind Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch has not won at a road course in his career. He could get his first win here in the 97. Kenseth in the second spot. Eight laps of racing to go. Well, 7 to go at the line now. 2 Fords and a Chevrolet. Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Roush teammates. Both drivers all 3 of them do have wins. Dylan, he got a little chippy there with Kurt. Got him a little loose. Kenseth hasn't won since Darlington earlier this year. He's looking to win. Kurt Busch hasn't won since the Daytona 500. Oh, Dylan and Kurt Busch get together. Kurt on the outside. Dylan takes the lead. Kurt looks low. Ooh, that could have been big. Got Rudd and Harvick fighting for 4th. Johnson in 5th. A lot of contact there. This might get interesting. 6 to go. Norway charges in on Kurt Busch. Dylan takes the lead. Barely comes in front of that 97. Side by side, off of the S's. Dylan is there. He gave Kurt a bit of a shot. Side by side, Kurt has the inside lane through 5. Dylan trying to pinch him down. Oh, and a big hit. Kurt Busch upside down. Harvick involved. Junior, Nemechek. Savage pileup. Cars in the air. Multiple cars involved.
This is the kind of finish the fans love to see.
Yeah, these NASCAR Winston Cup races can be hundreds of laps, yet when all is said and done, sometimes they're just a few tenths or even less separating the leaders. That was incredible.
The 64 car got into some trouble and did some damage to his car.
Yeah, you can't expect a good finish when you don't take care of your car. But sometimes that's easier said than done in this series. There are certain times when you just have no place to go.
The 64 car has begun a new rivalry on the racetrack.
That certainly looks that way. I'm not sure who started everything, but it should be fun to watch over the next couple of races to see what develops.
From all of us here at EA Sports.
Oh, God, what a hit.
Thanks for joining us today. So long. We'll see you next week at the
So-
Tehran Super Speedway.
Look at that. Kevin Harvick's involved. Matt Kenseth is there. Ward Burton. So that's Kurt Busch flying around. So we'll go ahead and look through these reels here. Dylan Murray and Kurt Busch kind of got a little physical with each other. Dylan's not afraid to mix things up. And then, I don't know, this. And Kurt turns Dylan into the barriers. Question is, who is ahead? Head here. So Rudd looks to have the advantage on Johnson. Look at that. Newman's in it. Tony Stewart is involved. Earnhardt, Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, Joe Nemechek is in it. Cars all over the place here. The track is all but blocked. You saw Rusty Wallace, Johnny Benson piling in. Or he's trying to look for a gap. So Jeff Burton's in it, Kurt Busch. Matt again. Well, we don't know here, so hard crash to end the Watkins Glen doubleheader weekend for Dylan Murway. They were able to red flag this race, believe it or not. So Ricky Rudd breaks a long winless streak in dominating fashion, going to victory lane here in race 2 of the Watkins Glen doubleheader. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch, Mark Martin ran out the top 5, even though Kurt Busch was in that hard crash. Robbie Gordon, Dale Jarrett, Johnny Benson, Christian Fittipaldi, and Rusty Wallace ran out the top 10. Looking through the rest of the field, Kevin Harvick was in that accident. He had a lot of damage to his car. Looking through, so Terry Labonte, Casey Mears. So Matt Kenseth, Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, Ryan Newman, Dylan Murway all had way too much damage to continue. Jamie McMurray was also, he had a blown motor, and 4 cars didn't even take time today in this race because they were in a lap one accident with Mark Martin. Elliott Sadler, Ricky Craven, Michael Waltrip, and Bill Elliott. So now goes the Daytona Tour, from winding road courses to blistering fast speeds. So we'll look at the unofficial results. Ricky Rudd punches his ticket into the Winston Cup playoffs with this win. Jeff Gordon could all but clinch the regular season championship if he just survives the Daytona Tour. Some heavy hits in these crashes. So for the awards, Dylan Murway on the pole, Ricky Rudd led the most laps, Kevin Harvick passed the most cars, Dylan Murway had the fastest pace, Christian Fittipaldi was the best rookie, and Kenny Wallace had the best pass in the race. Just give the Rookie of the Year award to Dylan Murway. Dylan Murway, 12 poles on the season. 8 drivers are already entered into the 04 shootout. There are rumors that they're bringing up Busch Series driver Brian Vickers to drive the 25 next year, which means Nemechek may take Nadeau's ride if things play out. They're working on contract deals for Vickers to do so. And the EA Sports Lap Champion Award currently is owned by Dylan Murway. Jeff Gordon is 611 laps back. 3 races left until the Winston Cup playoffs. Jimmy Johnson, Sterling Marlin, Ricky, and Kevin Harvick are the 3 drivers to watch. And it's Michael Waltrip, Dale Jarrett, and Bobby Labonte to watch for the last regular season spot. See you next Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, for the Daytona Sandy Beach Oval, the Daytona Beach 500.